Alright, so these are my bookshelves. It is not as pretty as I would like it to be. I do have some sections like this section right here, this section right here that I really like. The One Piece shelf used to be really nice, but I had to change it to fit in some stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in depth and tell you all the manga I have. This is kind of the dark shelf, and The Promised Neverland actually is right here. It should be in this section, but there's not enough space. So I'll start with The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland is basically about an orphanage, and the cast of characters discover that there's a dark secret going on in the orphanage, in the world they live in, and it's basically their adventure of trying to find a safer place to live. Rei's my favorite character, and I definitely recommend the manga over the anime. Season 1 anime is really good, and season 2 is just really traumatizing and terrible, and I hate it. It's horrible. So the manga is definitely one that I would recommend to read. It is actually one of my top mangas that I've ever read. Moving right along, we have Modal Sushi, the art book. This is actually an Idolish 7 of Sogo. He's just there because I don't know where to put him, and he's just chilling there. Then we have Noragami back here. Noragami Stray God. This is like volume 21. I'm collecting it on Right Stuff, but I haven't gotten any volumes. And that cover is just really pretty, so it's there. Right along, I have my Bungo corner. I have the art books and a magazine of Bungo. Bungo Stray Dogs is basically about an agency with a bunch of people that have gifts that are protecting their what's it called? Their society from other organizations like the Port Mafia and a bunch of other problematic people that come from different countries or something like that. It's kind of just weird to explain. We follow Atsushi, Dazai, and the rest of the people. There are a lot of characters that are really interesting, and they're all based off of real-life authors. This is BSD1, which they're going to be releasing in English, so I'm not going to be collecting more of these in Japanese. Then we have Bungo Stray Dogs Beast, which is also being released in English, so I will not be collecting it in the Japanese versions anymore. And we also have some light novels. I only have 1, 3, 4, and 6. They're releasing the 7th one next. And then I have Dazai's book, No Longer Human, and Edgar Allan Poe's stories, because he's one of my favorite authors of all time. Then we'll move down to the One Piece shelf. I have figurines all over the place here because One Piece is one of my favorites. And Sanji is my favorite character of all time, so I have a lot of Sanjis. So for those who don't know, One Piece is basically about a boy named Monkey D. Luffy that is going on a trip to try to become the king of the pirates. It's a very long voyage, and it is very funny, full of laughs, very sad at times, very motivational at times, and it's honestly a very entertaining story. Honestly, I love reading the manga a lot more than watching the anime just because the anime tends to drag on a lot, and One Piece, when you read it, you can read it at your own pace. So sometimes I recommend the manga for certain people, but I really like watching the anime as well because Sanji's in the anime and I love him, and Law, and all the characters are really funny to get to know. And if you just take it as a journey and don't try to rush through it, the anime can be really fun to watch. This is a figure box that I left there just to make it like a stopper, and it's really pretty and I like the art. I have a little Going Merry pin, a Jinbei that decided to fall, but he's a really tiny Jinbei. A couple figures, and I finally got the box set for the most recent arcs that's been going out in recent volumes, and it's super exciting and I'm super happy, and Sanji looks great. I have more figurines. I have a cup up here of Zoro, and I have Zoro's earrings in there that I wear for when I cosplay, and the infamous Pirate Recipes book of Sanji. Here we have the Haikyuu shelf. I used to have this a lot nicer of a setup, but as of right now, this is where it is. I have some Nendroids. Of course, I have Yaku. I love him. And a little acrylic stand of all of them, and they're so cute. And, oh, I don't know why Akane is here, but he's there, I guess. And a little Bokuto and Akashi stuffed animal, and the art book. One of the art books. I have the other one somewhere else. So Haikyuu is basically the story of kind of a weakling, kind of an underdog, Hinata Shoyo, trying his best because he wants to become the next little giant, and he wants to be an amazing volleyball player. And It is honestly so much fun to read. There's a lot more details in the actual manga than in the anime, and a lot more jokes and funny tidbits like middle fingers being shown or more yelling and cursing, and like it's just more realistic because, you know, anime censorships and stuff. But it's really fun to read or watch either way. It gets kind of slow when you watch it, and honestly sometimes reading it as well. But it's a nice wholesome read whenever you just want something consistent and nice. And the final arc hasn't been actually made into an anime form. So if you want to enjoy that, I would recommend reading it. And oh my goodness, the art gets better over time and it's beautiful. I love reading this. You're gonna notice the lower I get on the shelves, the less care I have for the actual items on the shelf because it's not as organized. I'm gonna need to get a new bookshelf when I move, but this is what I have down here. So we have Danganronpa, we have the original animation, Goodbye Despair, and volume 1 and 3 of the version 3. It's very confusing, but it's fun to read. I haven't read 1 and 3 obviously because I'm missing volume 2. And honestly, the order is kind of confusing because there's a lot to this actual series. So yeah, the original because this is the first one that started it all. Danganronpa is basically about a school where a bunch of students have gifts and something's going on with the world outside, no one knows, but Monokuma, which is this bear, traps all these students in a school where they're basically forced to basically kill each other, and it's really dark and gruesome, but it's really entertaining to read because it's kind of cringy, this first season especially, because, you know, it just started. Like, it's very old animation, you can tell it's kind of cringy, but it's a really fun read either way, and it's an iconic game. Nanbaka is actually my favorite anime of all time. I love this anime series. They do not have an English release and they only have it in Japanese, and they don't even have volume 1 out. This is Nanbaka. It's actually in color, which is really nice. I totally recommend this anime. It is so funny. Like, it does not have to be that funny, but it's also like really dark and like it's such a good show. I always recommend it to people because it's like one not a lot of people have heard of. And I just love all the characters. It's so funny. I can't say it enough. It's so funny. It's my favorite of all time. And there basically is, it's a jail where all the people are, it's just a colorful cast of characters in a jail. And it's so funny. I don't know how to explain it, so please go watch it. Getting into a section I haven't read a lot. So this is Ghostly Things. It's about this girl that she finds these ghostly writings from her grandma, I believe. And it's only a 3-volume series. I haven't read it, so I can't really tell you much more. But I love ghosts and creepy stuff, so I had to pick this up. Then we have Yokai Rental Shop. This was given to me by a friend, and I haven't read it either, but she knows I like creepy stuff, which like yokai and like Halloweeny and creepy characters with cool aesthetics, and that's what this book literally is. I don't know anything about it, but I really want to read it, and it looks really dope, the character designs and the covers, and it's only a 4-volume series. And a lonesome little volume right here is Dorororo. Dorororo is a really cool story about a kid that was basically like cursed from the beginning. He was born with no limbs, no eyes, no hearing, no speaking, no hair, a bunch of stuff. A lot of problems, and he was found by someone and trained to be a warrior. Go check it out. It's gonna make you cry. I've only watched the anime. I haven't read the manga, but I'm collecting the manga before I just binge it all because I think it's only gonna be a 3-volume series. Next we have Orient. This is my favorite cover. It is absolutely beautiful. Orient is written by the same person who wrote Magi, and it is basically about samurais, and it's pretty freaking cool. Obviously there's like, I think they're like yokai that they have to fight, and 10 out of 10 would recommend. The art is amazing. It's no surprise. They just released an anime for it. I haven't watched the anime. I've only been reading it, and the newest volume just came out, which I have to pick up. My senpai is annoying, which I know it should not be in this section, but I don't have anywhere else to put it. And basically, it's a super cute manga of Futaba and Takashi, I'm pretty sure, and it's basically her working and her senpai's annoying. But it's actually really cute and funny and wholesome, and I don't really typically like these types of stories, but this is so cute. I honestly think it's a josei more than a shoujo, but it's not like adult, you know, it's not plastic wrapped. It's just really cute. And the side couple, goals. Side couple all the way. I love the side couple. They're so freaking cute. They are so cute. We have volume 1 and volume 2 of Can't Stop Cursing You, which is what's currently out. He gets involved in a game where he needs to identify who is the curse and not get killed, and it's pretty interesting. I obviously have only read a little bit of the first volume so I can't really explain anything, but it's right up my alley, and I don't know why I haven't read this yet. I think I was gonna read it in Halloween time and I never did, but this is next on my to be read because I am so freaking excited to get into this series. We have Natsume's Book of Friends. It's right here, but I have one here also. Basically, it's about a guy named Natsume, and he is so sweet and literally the most wholesome character ever. And he basically can see yokai, and it's basically him and his endeavor through life of trying to find a home that accepts him, but he obviously isn't telling anyone why he acts strange, why he talks to nothing sometimes, because no one understands him, no one believes him. And he meets this yokai called Nyanko Sensei, and basically he's trying to get his grandma's curse off of him. I'm really bad at synopsises if you can't tell, but it's really funny and wholesome. And honestly, I've tried reading the manga. It's good, but it's kind of slow at times, and so I started watching the anime, and the anime really, like, it's so beautiful. And so I decided to give the manga another chance. Volume 3 still hasn't come in, and so I just started to collect the volumes from the anime episodes that I really like, so that I don't actually have to collect all 24 volumes of Natsume's Book of Friends, and just the ones that I really love. So I have volume 22 here, volume 12, but it's also a very beautiful cover, and this is one of my favorite stories from the whole anime. Next we have Laughing Under the Clouds. Criminals on an island, and there are samurais, and that's all I know because I haven't read it, and I have volumes 1 through 5, but I want to get volume 6 and binge it because I saw the cover for volume 6 and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna binge this, and I haven't read it. So this is after Can't Stop Cursing You because I am so excited. Plus this is literally one of the ones where I read the title and I just got too excited. So I'm gonna finish collecting it and then probably just binge it through. Then we have Magi, which is again by the same creator as Orient. Magi, I really like the anime. I don't know if I'm gonna collect the whole series in manga form. I might just get my favorites again. I only have the ending, some random one that I found for $1, and this one because I love him, and Judar is my favorite of all time, so I needed a cover with him. And so that's basically that. But basically it's about a kid, Alibaba, right? That's his name? Is that Alibaba? I don't remember, but there's a kid and he's trying to become a really good Magi, I think, right? That's what happens. I don't know. It's on Netflix. Watch it. It's really good. Then I have one single volume of Soul Eater. Soul Eater was the first anime I really got into, and I was like, yes, this is really good. And then the ending sucked, and so I want to collect the hardback collector's editions that are coming out of Soul Eater, and so that's why I haven't actually collected any of these, and I'm just saving money to get all the manga, so because the manga ends so much better than the anime. But I got this one solo volume because Stein and Dexthythe are my favorite characters, and they're the coolest pair other than Death the Kid. Death the Kid will always be my favorite character in that show. Then we have 2 random volumes of Legend of Zelda, because why not? And then finally, sorry I'm shaking a lot, 1 volume of Angels of Death. Don't know anything about it. Something with the Grim Reaper, and he's a psycho and I love him. A Japanese book about bread. I have volumes 1 and 2 of Disney's Twisted Wonderland, which is a video game. I love this game, and it's basically about villains in Disney, and they're in school. We have made it to the last shelf on this bookshelf. First, I have Hatsune Miku's Bad End Night, which, by the way, Hatsune Miku mangas aren't that great, but this one I wanted to give it a chance because it has all the Vocaloids in it, and it's Halloween themed. Basically, they all get trapped in a haunted house, I think is what happens. And there's a bunch of games, and they're trying to figure out who's the actual bad guy. It's like, I don't know. I haven't read it. I wanted to read it in Halloween also, but time flew by me. But I'm gonna read it soon, and then I can give you a review, right? I can do that. Monster Calls is a regular book. Recommend it. It's basically about a kid and a tree monster that becomes his friend, kind of, but not really. Really recommend it. They made a movie. I haven't watched the movie, but the book is really good. Then I have Solo Leveling, which is all the rave right now. Everyone loves Solo Leveling. I haven't read it. I want to wait to get volume 2 and 3, but it's so expensive. So it's just been sitting there. I don't know anything about it, but my friends really love it. Then here we have JJK. I am waiting for volume 14 and 13. I have read JJK. Everyone's read JJK and watched it. The manga's really good. The art's really good. Volume 13 and 14 are freaking fire, and I'm waiting for them to get in because I ordered them. It's basically about a group of students in the Jujutsu Kaisen Academy. They are basically stopping bad, like, demons and yokai from, like, coming into the world and ruining the world, obviously. And the main character, this boy, does something stupid, and he's helping them, but he's also kind of in trouble. It's a lot darker. It's really dark and really sad and kind of explicit. So I would recommend, if you're younger, you shouldn't read JJK. Just saying. Then we have My Hero Academia. I have this movie manga that they gave out for a while for the new movie that just came out. This little manga. It's really cute. Here we have My Hero Academia. I'm only collecting the final volumes that recently came out because My Hero Academia, it's really good, but it's the first seasons are kind of slow, and I don't really like them. But right now, where the arc in the manga is so good. Like, once Overhaul gets in, it starts getting better. And now, with everything going on with Bakugo and Aoyama and Shigaraki and Deku, it is so much better. So I'm collecting from, like, volume 17 and on. Next, we have Moriarty the Patriot. I really like The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and so I really wanted to give Moriarty the Patriot a try. I thought it'd be interesting because I really like Sherlock and Moriarty, and so I was very interested to see how they would make Moriarty a character that's likable, and they definitely delivered. It's so good. The anime is a lot more upbeat than the manga is sometimes. The manga gets very serious and has this communication that's very olden and, like, you know, so it's kind of boring if you're not really into this, like, social class rankings and all that stuff. So it takes me a while to read these volumes, but it is pretty interesting. I have stopped collecting after volume 4 because I want to finish them before moving on, because I don't even know if I'm going to finish collecting Moriarty. It's really good, the anime, though, and I really recommend it. And Sherlock is a beautiful man. Moving on, we have Spy X Family. Everyone's heard of Spy Family. It is so funny. It's basically about this dad who's a spy, and he marries a woman that's an assassin, but it's a fake marriage. But they act normal, and then they adopt a daughter because they have to be a fake family for a mission. And the daughter is a telepath, so she's the only one that knows the truth about each other and, like, about everyone. And it's a comedy. It's so funny. It's so interesting, and everyone's excited about the anime that's coming out because we're all gonna be simping for the dad, the mom, the brother. Super cool. Really recommend. It is super funny and light to read, and honestly, the covers are really pretty and simple. I have Persona 5. I haven't finished collecting it because I want to play the video game before I do. I don't know anything about it because I haven't played the video game. Naruto. a classic. Everyone knows Naruto. Basically, it's about a kid who really wants to become the Hokage of a leaf village. And there's a whole bunch of ninja problems that happen. And he grows up from being an annoying kid to being an awesome kid. And honestly, one of the best people and best protagonists that I've read about. I'm also probably not going to collect it completely other than for the arcs that I really like. So, and anything that doesn't have Sakura on the cover. That's why I don't have volume 2. And then A School Frozen in Time. I haven't finished reading it. It's done by the same artist as Your Lie in April. Basically, it's about a school that gets frozen in time because of a suicide that happens. So trigger warning there. And they're trying to figure out why it happened. I have moved to Promised Neverland and I put Horimiya there because I actually started packing. So, yeah. Starting off, we have Horimiya. This one is the beginning of my shoujo shelf. Horimiya is a really cute shoujo. It is about Miyamoto and Hori. And basically it's the trope where the popular girl meets the not so popular guy. And it's really cute, really wholesome. And oh my goodness, I kin Miyamoto so hard. He is so pretty. Moving on, we have Beyond the Clouds. I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Then we have Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan was one of the manga that I definitely judged it by its cover when it first came out. And then my friend was like, let's watch this anime. And oh my gosh, it is so relatable. It's basically about this 30-year-old, I think, is his age, Uramichi Onisan, and he is a host for a TV show for kids. And he has to basically act like everything's okay while he's having like a midlife crisis at 30. And it is so relatable and funny, and honestly, it like hurts my emotions how relatable it is. I really recommend it. It's really cute, and it just makes you see the values in life. Moving right along, we have Play It Cool Boys. Guys, Play It Cool Guys. And these two acrylic stands are of that webcomic. Play It Cool Guys is basically about a bunch of dudes that try to be cool and they are not. So we have Josei, Shoujo, whatever you want to call it, Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku. Again, a super funny anime, and I had to pick it up and read it because I just wanted to know more about the characters and their relationships. And it's basically about otaku who are trying to act normal, working in the workplace, and it is so funny. Again, I really recommend it. This is one of my favorite couples, which is why I pulled this one out. I do have volume 2. I'm currently reading it, and I really like this one. It's a good start to Josei, if anything. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Next we have Blue Flag, which I have completely finished reading this series. It is one of my favorites. It's actually a shonen published title, but I have it here in the shoujo section just because it is a high school normal life type of story. It is technically an LGBT story, but it's just talking about it, and like a whole bunch of situations go on. It's high school, and it's honestly really realistic, and I really appreciated this story. A lot of people don't like the ending. I personally don't really like it too much, but I'm content with it, and it really doesn't lower my love for this series. It's still one of my top favorites next to The Promised Neverland. It's in like the top 3 for me, and the ending's okay. It's fine. I don't really care too much. I love this story and I can't wait to reread it. Definitely recommend it. Blue Period, which, can you tell who is my favorite character? Blue Period is a story about an artist, and he's not really an artist, but he's becoming an artist, and he meets a lot of art friends in the art club, and he's trying to get into an art college. And this story makes me ache because I am an artist as well, and I understand a lot of the pain that artists go through. And if you ever want to know what it's like to be an artist, I would really recommend reading this, even if you aren't an artist yourself. It's a story that really you know, exposes the truth about being an artist. People think being an artist is so easy, and this is just a story that really explains how it's not the easiest thing ever, you know? And it's so good. The anime's out as well. I haven't watched the anime. I'm reading it. I'm already like on volume 6, I think it is. But not online. I'm reading it online because I read up to here on physical and I still haven't gotten my volume 5 and I needed to read more. So I'm reading it the rest online. And it's so good. Please pick it up. Next we have When Will Ayumu Make His Move? I have no reason for owning this. It's really cute and just a super fast read, and it's basically about these two that are in a shogi, what is the game? Shogi club? I don't remember. And she knows that the guy likes him, but the guy will not admit his feelings until he wins her in a game, and it's just super silly and cute. That's it. Last but not least, I have Genshin Impact, the manga, the anthology manga. I read this online in English, but I wanted to have a physical copy of this one because the cover is stunning with Albedo and Ether and Klee and Paimon. Shoujo is my least favorite genre. As you can tell, I actually have josei and shonen. So I literally just have that much shoujo and that much shoujo. I don't really like shoujo. I just don't like romance and cheesy drama and annoying high school love, but yeah, so that's like the small section, the small little shoujo section. Moving down, we have more, I'm sorry for the reflection, by the way, things here. We have Spoon to the Eye magazines here of Escape the Infinity, because until they release the English volumes of the manga, I'm not gonna buy any manga because there's no point in buying the Japanese if they're gonna release it in English. And I'm pretty sure they're going to release it in English because that's what they've been doing. So this is how I have my love right now for Skate. And I have Yuri on Ice, one of the art books, but it's not that great, so I don't look, so it's there. Moving right along, wow, that was not English. Moving right along, we have Fire Force. Fire Force is amazing. It is by the same creator of Soul Eater. Here's my favorite boy. Arthur's my favorite boy. Fire Force is basically about a place where in the world there is a thing called spontaneous human combustion, and basically the people in the Fire Force are helping these infernos, as they call it, rest in peace and, you know, be put out. But along the way they discover that there might be a reason these spontaneous human combustion stuff is happening, and Shinra wants to put a stop to it along with other people, and it's incredible. Go watch it. And the opening for season 1 part 1 is so fire, no pun intended. And yes, if you think Fire Force the anime is kind of not lewd, but like, you know, boobs and butt and all that stuff, it's worse in the manga, but honestly, it's not that bad, and the story in the manga is so much more detailed and better than the actual anime that I forgive it. And honestly, I don't even like Tamaki too much, which is the only one that they really give fan service for, so I just ignore it. It's really good. Don't knock it till you try it. So we have Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, which is obviously known for its amazing art style, and it is honestly one of my favorite series. The anime is only 1 season long as of right now, and the art is beautiful. So I had to pick up the manga to just keep reading and keep looking at the beautiful art. And oh my word, the story is so good. It just keeps getting more and more intense, especially now where we are. It is astonishing, and it's actually really fast, the releases for these volumes. So please go check it out if you haven't. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it is beautiful. The art, the story, gosh, you need to go pick this up. It's so good. Back here, I have the art book for Toilet Bound. It's beautiful. Todoroki's protecting the case study of Vanitas, or Vanitas, however you want to pronounce it. I have not read this one because I'm missing volume 4, and I want to binge read this one because I know I'm gonna like it. The art is stunning. and it's basically about a vampire. I don't know anything else. I haven't watched the anime. I want to go into this blind. I'm just waiting for volume 4, and Right Stuff is taking a little while, and the covers are astonishing. So yeah, that's that. Moving right along, we have Pretty Boy Detective Club. Now, Pretty Boy Detective Club, volume 2 is already out, and it still hasn't come in because of Right Stuff. The art in this manga is freaking amazing. There are also some light novels for it, and I have read the first one already, and I had to pick up the mangas because the art is just stunning and I want to see it in art form. He is my favorite, and in the manga he looks so different and so amazing. So I really recommend. Just don't simp for any of them because they're honestly like 13 to 15 years old. Okay, moving down here, this is one of my most aesthetically pleasing shelves. Here I have all the K-pop, which is BTS. BTS, I have a lot of BTS. It's not the only band I like, K-pop group I like. I want to get a lot of 17, but I haven't had the chance to recently, so this is the only K-pop I have. Seaside Stranger is a BL. This is the beginning of my BL, by the way. I have a lot, but Seaside Stranger, or Stranger by the Sea, is a beautiful story. Volume 2 just came out and I am so excited. The movie's out. It's beautiful. Please go watch it. Back here is the, oh my gosh, is this Your Name? I don't remember if this is Your Name or a Silent Voice Landscape art book, but it's back here. Here we have Classmates, or Dokusai. Please go watch this. It is the most beautiful BL like in existence. It's a movie. It is so soft and heart-wrenching and it's so good. And the manga is finally getting an English release completely, so like all the way up to like the marriage and going to work and all these different things, which is nice because the movie kind of ends in a bittersweet way. But oh my goodness, it's such a good ending. It's actually a beautiful ending. You need to watch it and read it, and please go do that now. This is like my favorite. That's why it's like up here. Along with that, we have Occupation to Beloved in Japanese, which they're getting an English release for. So I'm not getting volume 2 in Japanese because it's coming in English. Then we have Kiradai Isete, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a super cute story. It's in Japanese because I highly doubt they're gonna release this one in English. This is when you knew he was gonna be the one for this guy. I love this story. I read it online all the time, or I use an app to translate my Japanese manga because this is one of the cutest stories imaginable. And lastly here, I have a novel called The Place Promised in Our Early Days. I haven't picked this up yet because it seems like it's going to be really sad. And I don't know if I want to deal with that yet. It's something based on a true story. And I'm just not ready. This is one of my favorite shelves. It's gotten a little messier coming on this side because I've collected a lot more. And this is also going to be really hard to show you everything, but we can try. So let's get into it. Starting here, I have a Horimiya art book for some reason. First, let's start with the CDs because I have CDs here. I have Given because the soundtrack breaks my heart every time. Then I have the Skate the Infinity intro, outro music. And last but not least, I have a Mafu Mafu CD. And yes, he's in the BL section only because he has a very gender envious personality, and he actually is like hates being a boy, and he kind of has this androgynous look to him. So I definitely wanted to represent him in the BL section. We have The Cat Proposed, which is about this guy that's kind of tired of his life, so slight trigger warning because there is a suicide attempt or contemplation, and he meets this storyteller, but he has a secret, and it's a really cute story. I loved this one. I read it so fast and the art is really fun. Then we have The Two Lions. I do not know anything about this one, but it seems like it's gonna be good, as always. So I'm excited. Everyone's been talking about it. Then I'll move on to here. This is actually Given. I got these really cool plain kind of manga covers for them so that because I didn't like the vibrancy of the actual covers. Now Given, everyone knows Given if you really are into BL stories. It's basically about a group of boys that form a band, and one of them is suffering from an ex-boyfriend's suicide, and it's really sad, and there is a lot of trigger warnings obviously in here, but it's so real, and you can tell that like they're aching, they're trying to grow, and it's so good. I really recommend it, only of course if you can handle triggering subjects like that. Then we have 10 Count. This is basically a story about Kurose, is that his name? I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, Kurose is the black-haired guy, and Shiotani is the pink-haired guy. A guy who has a huge fear of getting germs and dirt on his skin, and he meets this other person, another guy, that is actually a psychologist, and he's trying to help him get over this fear, and or sickness, I guess you could say, and it is a really cute story. Very 18 plus, by the way. Moving on with the 18 plus themes, of course it's in Japanese. I do not remember the name of this one. This is basically about a very, 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 very shy coworker and a very exuberant coworker, and they get together and it's just their cute story. That's it. Then I have, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed of myself. Hit On by a Kinky Guy. It's kind of sad and sadistic and silly and weird, and I don't know why I like this story so much, but I do. Then we have my favorite BL of all time. It's called Sadistic Madness. Do not be fooled. This is the saddest BL I've ever read. Like the scariest, deepest, darkest BL I've ever read. But the love story is so sweet at the end, and it's just so good and powerful. And please be aware, this one does have triggering stories as well, like a storyline. It has to do with trigger warning. It has to do with rape and honestly child like molestation and a bunch of stuff like that. It's really dark, but it's so good. I really recommend. And last but not least, I don't even remember this one. I just remember I liked the relationship. I think it's called like Honey Drink or something. I don't remember, but the art is really pretty and the ending is really cute. But yeah, I don't remember anything else about it, but I liked this one a lot enough to buy it, so yay. I will not be taking these out because I haven't read Color Candy Paradox or Escape Journey, and 10 Count, I already explained it. But Color Candy Paradox is about, I don't know. I don't know anything about these three, so they're just there. Next I have Yes, No, or Maybe, which is a movie that came out recently, and they made a light novel of it. So this is not manga, it's a book, but basically it's about this guy that is two-faced, you could say. He's an actor in one, I think he's an actor in one way and kind of a dork in the other. And this guy knows them as a dork, and that's it. He doesn't know that the dork is an actor, and basically loves him for all he is, and it's really cute. Moving right along, Cherie, My Destiny. I love this manga. It's so sweet and so cute. And basically it's about two different shop owners. One of them is a French chocolate pastry chef. The other is a regular Japanese chocolate pastry chef. And it's their bond over desserts and getting to know new things from different places, countries, growth. It's really cute. Really recommend. And then the last of this little section of Tokyo Pop and other stuff is Two Peas in a Pod. Again, have not read this one, sadly, but it's here. Usually these one-shots, I know I'm gonna like them, so that's why I get them, and I haven't read them. These longer ones are, sometimes I have to read the first couple volumes to see if I want to continue, though. And by the way, I just want to explain real quick because I know someone's gonna ask, why do I prefer BL manga over shoujo manga? I can make a whole video explaining that if you want, but the basic gist of it is the relationships I feel in a BL manga are so much deeper than a shoujo. A shoujo is like, yeah, it's cute. But sometimes, a lot of the times there's like female drama, like two girls liking the same guy, or a love triangle, or something stupid and annoying, you know, or like the girl can't confess her love because she's so scared. I don't know, something ridiculous. But a BL manga, there's the drama and the problems in a BL manga are so much deeper because, you know, a lot of people don't believe like a guy should like another guy, and so it's just painful for them, and they're like the drama is them trying to tell their parents, or getting kicked out of the house, or being scared of losing work, or something so much deeper. So that's why I prefer BL, because the story, the romance is actually earned, and it's really nice. Moving right along, I have the Given movie right here. Hitoriji My Hero. This is Hitoriji Boyfriend, which is a side story of the side couple. But the main story follows his brother, I believe. His brother. Or friend. It's one of the two. This guy back here, this blonde dude up here. It's kind of an age gap story for the blonde and the teacher. He's a high school student. He's a teacher. He's a young teacher, but there is a little bit of an age gap. If you don't like that, don't read it. But it's really sweet and it's funny, and this is one that you binge. Like, you get addicted to the story and just have to read more. So I really like this story, and there's an anime as well. This is a Bad Boys illustration book. This is another manga called My Summer of You. This is about a film student, and I was a film major, so I wanted to pick this up, and yeah, it's a BL. I haven't read this. I'm waiting for volume 2 so I can binge it. Therapy Game volume 2, because volume 1 is very dramatic and problematic and stressful, and I personally don't like rereading it too much, so I don't have the desire to buy the physical copy. So I have Therapy Game Volume 2 here, and then I have Secret XXX, which is the side couple story, and it's super cute. Therapy Game Restart in Japanese. They're gonna have it in English, but I'm not gonna get it because I already have this. Therapy Game is about this guy. Meets another guy. Has a problematic life. Again, suicide warning in this, so trigger warning for that. Personally, it's so dark and sad, and I don't personally like it too much. I do like Therapy Game, but I haven't reread it, and I don't really want to yet. Secret XXX, I have read so many times, because it's the same amount of drama, it's just compiled into a shorter way, and it's just sweeter and innocent. This one's a little darker because they're older and more problematic for them. But yeah, it's a good story. I would start with Secret XXX if you want to kind of get an easier intro into Therapy Game. But if you really like good, deep stories, read Therapy Game. It's really good. We have made it to the last shelf, which is honestly the overflow of BL. We obviously have the Given art book, a little Given pin. Here we have I Hear the Sunspot, which I have not read, mostly because I don't know the order of reading it. Someone told me though what the order is, I think in a comment on YouTube, so I will be reading it soon, hopefully. It's about a deaf or hard of hearing guy and someone else, and it's very interesting. I just heard it gets sad, and I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I think it has a good ending, and the covers are beautiful. Like, look at that cover. But I haven't read it yet. Then I have Our Dining Table, which is about a guy who has a kid falling in love with this guy and their food and relationship, and it's really sweet. Then we have 7 Days, which is the same creator of 10 Count. This one's really cute. It's about a very popular guy that every Monday he gets a new girlfriend, and if by the end of the week he doesn't like her or love her, he breaks up with her, and that's fine. All the girls understand that. So one guy decides, okay, what if I try? And it's just uphill from there. The ending is kind of lackluster, but it's such a cute story that it's forgivable. Then we have Dekoboko Sugar Days. This one's really cute. It's a classic. There's a new volume coming out. It was originally going to be a one-shot, and they released a new volume, which I'm very excited to get. Basically, they're childhood friends, fall in love. Really sweet. There's like not really any problems with this story, and that's really nice. I don't know, maybe the next volume might though. Who knows? Then we have Glass Syndrome and Replay. These are just two BLs from Tokyo Pop that I haven't had the chance to read, so I don't know anything about them. This one is childhood friends to lovers trope, I'm pretty sure. And I have no idea what this one's about. But they're apparently both really good. A lot of my friends talk well about it, so... Then I have I Cannot Reach You. This one, again, childhood best friends. But I think one of them starts to like the other. They don't know that they both like each other. I'm pretty sure that's the premise. Volume 3 just came out, which I think is the last volume. I'm going to get that. Then I'm going to binge it. It's going to be one of those stories where I'm like, come on, can't you guys see that you love each other? And then we have the beautiful Seaside Stranger movie, which is so cute. Seaside Stranger leads into all of my anime movies that I have. So, and Grease and Sherlock, because why not? So I'll just do a quick run through. Avatar, Gossip, which I haven't finished. Soul Eater, amazing. Voltron, amazing. Orient High School Host Club. I cannot wait to get the box set for this manga. Hanako-kun is always listless. It's about a guy that's very lazy. We have My Hero, the movie, the first movie, and then the second one right here. And then Howl's Moving Castle, because of course, Studio Ghibli. Sherlock is amazing. Bungo Stray Dogs, Dead Apple, because it is so cool and it's awesome. And I haven't got into season 3 yet, so I have to do that. A Silent Voice. I haven't watched this yet. I'm scared. Then we have Promare, which is honestly very similar to Fire Force, but more BLA, and that's pretty great. And then Nanbaka, my favorite show of all time. Spirited Away, the beautiful Yuri on Ice, which is about a bunch of ice skaters. And it's so much deeper than you would believe. So go watch it. And then, like I said, Natsume's Book of Friends, because it's a movie that, it's a TV series, it's an anime series that I really enjoy a little bit more than the manga as of right now, and it's really cute. That marks the end of my manga shelves.